Ever wondered? Salt is sprinkled on roads during winters to melt the snow, while the same salt in summers is used by ice cream makers to keep the ice cream cold. How is it possible? Aren't these two things contradictory? Stay tuned as we unfold the mystery. Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about freezing point depression and some of its popular applications. And like every other video of ours, we will do an interesting activity, making instant ice cream with the help of ice cubes and salt. But before that, if you are new to our channel, please subscribe to watch our wonderful science videos.
We know that water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius, but if we add some impurities to water like salt or sugar, its freezing point lowers. Water, which earlier turned to ice at 0 degrees Celsius, would now stay liquid and would convert into ice only at some temperature below 0 degrees. This happens because impurities hinder the process of forming crystalline structures of ice to some extent.
We can say that the freezing point of salt solution is less than the freezing point of pure water. This lowering of freezing point of a solute when impurities are added to it is called freezing point depression.
Salt lowers the freezing point of water. This is the reason salt is used on roads during winters. Let's understand how it does so. There is always a thin layer of water on the surface of ice, where the ice molecules and water molecules are interacting. This water is constantly melting some of the ice, while the ice beneath is freezing some of the water. At 0 degrees, this ice and water are at equilibrium. That is, the amount of water and the amount of ice stay the same. If the temperature drops, more water becomes ice. If the temperature increases, more ice becomes water. Suppose the outside temperature is below 0 degrees and there is snow on the roads. When you add salt, it lowers the freezing point of the water on the snow surface to a temperature less than the outside temperature, which means the ice can't freeze that layer of water at 0 degrees Celsius anymore. The water, however, can still melt the ice at that temperature, which results in melting of the snow on the roads. You can see the ice cube where we put salt melted faster. However, please note that salt is not effective at extremely low temperatures. It can only lower the freezing point of water by a few degrees. And if outside temperature is still lower than the new freezing point of water after adding salt, snow would not melt. I still need to answer why ice cream vendors use salt. For that, we are making an instant ice cream. Prepare your ice cream mix using any recipe.
Here I have used some dairy cream, milk, cocoa powder and sugar. Put the ice cream mix in the Ziploc bag.
Put a lot of ice cubes in another zip bag and place the ice cream mix bag inside this ice.
Now we know that due to the presence of fat and sugar, our ice cream can't freeze at 0 degrees Celsius. So we can't make ice cream using ice cubes alone. However, let's take a leap of faith and add a lot of common salt to the ice. Now lock the bag and keep shaking it for around 10 minutes. You may want to wear some gloves because the ice bag will gradually become a lot cold. Let's now check our ice cream. Wow, can you believe it? Our ice cream is ready. I will wash the bag first in water. Ice cream takes a couple of hours in the freezer to set, and here we did it in 10 minutes using salt. But how? Let's understand.
Consider this arrangement. The inner container has the liquid to be frozen. The outer container, preferably insulated, has ice cubes. As we discussed earlier, there is always a thin layer of water on the surface of ice cubes, and when we add salt to the ice, the salt starts dissolving in this water. The dissolution of salt into water is an endothermic process, which means it needs energy to separate the sodium and chlorine ions from each other. However, it's an insulated system, so the process takes that energy from ice and the ice becomes cooler. Since we dissolved salt in water, its freezing point has lowered. We already discussed why salt melts ice, and here also ice will start melting. Melting is also an endothermic process. Ice needs energy to melt, which it takes from the liquid to be frozen, and the liquid becomes cooler. Melted ice now dissolves more salt. This dissolution of salt takes energy from ice and water mix, making it cooler. And the melting of ice due to depression and freezing point requires energy, which it takes from the liquid to be frozen. The liquid to be frozen becomes cooler and cooler. Ultimately, when it encounters its freezing point, it freezes. This is how our ice cream was set.
In short, when we added salt to ice, we made a freezing mixture which can be used to produce temperatures lower than 0 degrees Celsius. 3 parts ice and 1 part salt can be used to produce temperatures as low as minus 21 degrees. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed doing it. The experiments we do here are so easy that they can be done at home or in a classroom. Do try them. If you have any queries, let me know in the comments. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and classmates.